Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into business coach Sir CP's masterclass on how to transform your product label from just a random afterthought into a powerful, revenue-generating silent salesperson. You know, so many entrepreneurs spend literally months perfecting their actual product. We're talking sourcing the absolute best ingredients, buying top-tier equipment, but then they completely rush the packaging at the finish line. Today, we're going to fix that. We're learning exactly how to create labels that make customers stop in their tracks, immediately trust your product, and most importantly, actually make a purchase.
Let's kick things off with a massive paradigm shift from Sir CP. Check this out. Even if you spend countless hours producing an absolutely incredible product, your customers are always going to judge it by its packaging first. I mean, think about it. They don't see your hard work, they don't see your pristine kitchen or your meticulous production process. They just see that label. It's a fundamental truth of consumer behavior that we all have to internalize. People buy with their eyes way before they ever buy with their wallets.
To really prove this point, let's play out a super simple scenario. Picture this. You're walking down the grocery store aisle looking for, let's say, honey. You scan the shelf and you spot two entirely different bottles sitting right side by side. Now remember, you haven't tasted either of them yet. Okay, so on one side you have a plain bottle. It's got small, handwritten text, missing details, pretty basic. On the other side, you have a highly professional bottle, bright gold and black design, super clear ingredients, a slick logo. Almost everyone is going to grab that second option. But why? It's definitely not because they've tasted it. It is entirely because the label itself built buyer confidence before the honey was ever even opened. The customer is buying the confidence first and the physical product second.
To help us master this psychology, our explainer today follows a really clear, quick roadmap. We're going to cover the concept of the silent salesperson, the 4 jobs of a label, building your brand identity, essential facts and legalities, a case study in success, and finally we'll wrap it all up with Sir CP's 5 golden rules.
All right, let's jump right into section 1, the silent salesperson.
Simply put, your product label is literally the face of your product. It introduces what you're selling before you ever even get to meet your customer. It tells the buyer exactly what the item is, who made it, and most importantly, why they need to buy it. It acts as your silent salesperson. It speaks for your business and generates that absolutely crucial consumer confidence even when you aren't in the room to pitch it yourself.
Moving right along to section 2, the 4 jobs of a label. Every single highly effective label has to perform 4 critical functions on the shelf. First, it's got to identify, telling the customer crystal clearly if they're looking at mango juice or tomato sauce so there's zero confusion. Second, it must inform the buyer of crucial details. Like a diabetic customer needs to know right away if sugar was added. Third, it has to promote its unique value, calling out things like premium long grain or stone-free rice to really boost that perceived value. And finally, it absolutely must protect the consumer with vital safety warnings or expiry dates. Because let's be real, nobody wants to accidentally drink 5-year-old mango juice.
That brings us to section 3, building your brand identity.
When it comes to naming your product, a memorable brand identity is basically everything. A professional, evocative name like Golden Harvest Peanut Butter is going to beat out a generic name like Peanut Butter No. 3 every single time. Why? Because as consumers, we inherently associate familiar, well-crafted logos and names with a much higher level of quality. Remember, people buy into brands before they buy the actual products. And you know, colors communicate way before words ever do. You really shouldn't just pick a color just because it happens to be your personal favorite. You need to pick a color that telegraphs the exact right message to the buyer. I mean, would you package fresh, organic apple juice in a stark black bottle? Probably not, right? Because green naturally communicates freshness and organic roots. On the flip side, if you're selling a super premium dark chocolate, neon pink might completely miss the mark, whereas black or gold perfectly screams luxury and sophistication.
Typography is honestly just as crucial as your color palette. To maintain a truly professional and attractive identity, you have to strictly avoid visual clutter. The golden rule of thumb here is super simple but incredibly powerful. Limit yourself to just 2 or 3 font styles per label, max. You really want to avoid tiny text or those overly decorative fonts that make it a total struggle for the consumer to quickly read what you're actually selling. Now, there is a massive, super common mistake we see business owners make all the time, trying to cram literally everything onto the front cover. If you try to squeeze in your entire mission statement, your company history, 3 contact numbers, and every single product detail right on the front, customers are just going to get overwhelmed and confused. As Sir CP brilliantly points out, if everything is important, then nothing is important. You've got to keep that front label simple and punchy and just place all the heavy, detailed information on the back.
Okay, let's shift gears to Section 4, Essential Facts and Legalities.
Sir CP offers a really vital reminder here. A beautiful label that breaks the law is a massive liability, not an asset. Depending on your local regulations, you absolutely must include all the regulatory details. We're talking exact ingredients, net weight, batch numbers, barcodes, and of course, manufacturing and expiry dates. If your world-famous chili sauce expires next month, the customer absolutely has a right to know that. Being honest and fully compliant with your labeling is what maintains complete transparency and builds that long-term customer trust.
Let's see this in action in Section 5, a case study in success.
This particular case study from the Masterclass follows a local fruit juice company. They were producing incredibly high-quality juice, but they were experiencing steadily declining sales. The problem? Their original label was totally outdated, used really dull colors, and unfortunately, it kind of hid the product's actual health benefits. But by simply swapping that old design out for a fresh label featuring vibrant fruit imagery, a larger product name, super clear nutritional data, and a modern QR code, the results were night and day. They instantly increased their shelf appeal, built way greater customer trust, and just skyrocketed their sales and brand recognition almost overnight.
Similarly, Sir CP shares an awesome story about a local bakery that made these excellent cookies but really struggled with low sales. Why? Because they were using plain transparent bags with tiny handwritten stickers. So they redesigned it. They added a colorful label, a professional logo, and prominently displayed the words freshly baked butter cookies. And guess what? Sales jumped immediately because the product was finally perceived as a premium item. The crazy part is the recipe didn't change one bit, only the presentation changed. That right there is the true power of a great label.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 6, 5 Golden Rules.
As you go to design your next product's packaging, make sure you're following these 5 core steps. Number 1, design for your customer, not for your own personal tastes. 2, remember that simplicity always wins and creates immediate trust. 3, build a brand identity that customers can instantly recognize from an aisle away. 4, always ensure you're fully compliant with labeling regulations. And 5, make it so instantly memorable that it stands out on the shelf and practically screams that it's worth the customer's hard-earned money.
So if you take absolutely nothing else away from this Masterclass explainer today, let it be this. If you invest months creating a top-tier product, do not let a poor label tell your customers the wrong story. A genuinely great product truly deserves a great label to match. You aren't just selling a physical item. At the end of the day, you are fundamentally selling confidence.
Let's leave off with one final thought for you to ponder for your own business today. Think about this. If your label is your very first promise to the world, way before a customer ever opens the package, what exactly is your product promising them right now?